Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Here today to the next episode of Let's Talk. Now, today's one has kind of jumped the line a bit, and is actually going to be about team play, kind of tactics, coordination, that sort of stuff, on like a whole server-wide level. And we'll get into properly in a second, so see. Won't reveal anything yet. Please do remember this is a talk opinion episode type thing. So everything I say is obviously my thoughts, my opinions based on what I've played and how long I've played, and who I've played with, all that sort of stuff, and kind of the development of that forms my opinions. There will be some fact in here based off of certain things. But it's not gonna, it's mainly thoughts and opinions. So, yeah. Please do remember to like, subscribe, share, comment, whatever else if you do enjoy this video or any of my other ones. Means a lot and helps the channel grow. So, without further ado, let's get into it. So, team play. Kind of tactics and other shit as well. My first thought and opinion when it comes to World War III, as with quite a few people and how they've described it, is kind of, it bridges the gaps between kind of your COD and Battlefield style gameplays with a bit more of your insurgency and slightly more realistic type shooters gameplay through time to kill and different mechanics. Obviously, in TAC Ops, the maps are fairly big, within reason. There's enough room to move around. Some people bitch about being too open for infantry and all this other shit. One of the main things I see is people bitch that armor is too powerful. I see it fucking everywhere. It's starting to grate on me, the amount of people that, you know, actually say that armor in World War III is too powerful. And it goes to show that if you're taking the standpoint that armor is too powerful in World War III, then either you and your squad, or your team, or both, aren't doing enough to counteract the armor. Now, I know some people might find that a BS point that I make, but it's true. Like, when I played some the other day, and I know time of filming this, stress test has just been, a bunch of new people have come in, might not know gameplay or, you know, anti-tank, that sort of shit. There comes a point, especially with the leveled people, the people that have played a lot, etc., that kind of need to take stuff on your own back. You need to do it yourself. And if you want change to happen in the game and for more people to, you know, focus anti-tank, or if you feel like armor's too powerful, then you need to be the ones that take the standpoint of trying to destroy the armor. I played a game the other day, and it was literally, I was playing in a duo, we were in a locked duo squad, and literally there were tanks running rampant across the entire map, and we were the only two with RPGs. They had 3 vehicles, a world spawn, a base spawn, and a tank. And they were dominating. Purely because the fact that there was only 2 of us trying to do AT. Now, I know there's some BS mechanics that people keep bitching about, like the RCIED jammer that you can put on the vehicles. They stop anti-tank lines and C4. They also jam you if you're in close proximity. But the thing to remember is, if they've got the RCIED jammer, that is one of their 3 slots taken up. So that only leaves them with 2. Most vehicles, if you have a Crow's turret, that's a slot as well. That then only leaves 1 slot unless they remove the Crows. You can quite easily see whether that's armor plating or not. Now, obviously, if it is armor plating and you can see that they've got an RCIED jammer, it's not. You can see the little box on top of the tank. If you look hard enough from, you know, cover or wherever. Don't try and obviously run at the tank head on and, oh, let me inspect it. Never going to work. But you can quite easily take a stance of playing anti-tank, and it will benefit your team. Now, if you're playing in a 5-man, and you can get your full 5-man working together, all using RPGs. I know the RPGs are a bit for damage on some vehicles. Cough, cough, Abrams. But the Abrams is obviously the heavy MBT. Really, it should be worth, it costs more points to call in, but that's another thing for later. Without obviously having tandem rockets back, please, we need them. RPG damage can be a bit on vehicles. However, like I'm saying, if you're playing a 5-man and you can get all 5 of you using RPGs, they don't stand a chance. You'll ruin an Abrams. It's not that hard to obviously actually take an AT stance, but I feel like a lot of people they play very stubbornly. They're used to either COD or Battlefield, where you can take a shit ton of stuff on you. Tanks can't stop C4 and shit like that. Or, like in COD, run and gun. The game definitely has more of a team play usage to it, and I would love for more people to actually take more of a team play stance. Anti-tank is just the first thing. So, if there's tanks running rampant on the enemy team, and you're in a 5-man, swap off for, max 5 minutes of the match using RPGs. It's not going to ruin your life, and it will make for a better game for the rest of the match. And, like, I mean, if the enemy are dominating with UAVs, this fucking, whatever the anti-air launcher is, it's got pretty dog shit range, but you can take down shit easily with that. You can also shoot down all the UAVs with small arms fire, except the radar and the UAV that are the, like, low atmosphere fucking orbity ones. The ones that are super fucking high up. Not even that AA launcher can target them. But yeah. You can take down that stuff as well. And obviously all of that stuff will go towards helping your team. Would be nice to have some more points rewarded for that sort of stuff. And hopefully that sort of balancing side of that will come soon. Like, my main thing is when it comes to anti-tank, which I think is a bit that puts people off a lot, is people can get the kill on the tank and you'll only get 30 points for an assist. And yes, obviously you get points for damaging the vehicle, but say you were to deal 90% of the damage to the vehicle, you get 90 points. They get the kill on the tank, they get, 300? And you get 30 additional to that 90 worth of damage. It needs to be balanced so that you get points allocated by the amount of damage you dealt to it when it comes to the actual destruction of the vehicle, unless they have sat on a base repair pad since then. Might be a bit tricky to code, but it would help with a lot of kind of off-puttingness of playing AT. So, to quickly talk about kind of the AT mines and stuff, yes, the RCID jammer can stop them. However, if you see a tank with an RCID jammer, target them using RPGs, repair tool if you can get close enough, or airstrikes. Do not use the aerial drone, the little loitering one, because it will get scrambled and won't do shit even if you do hit the tank. You can use them if it's got an RCID jammer. If it's got the radio jammer, which is the big antenna, don't use airstrikes on it. You can use AT mines and C4 and shit. Go that route. If it's got APS, you'll see like the actual rocket APS, the anti-rocket shit. It'll be a little rocket pod with 4 or 6 rockets. It's easy to see if they've got that one. Now, if they do, you need to kind of get on the flank at a lower elevation or close with RPGs so it doesn't take them out. Yes, it does only have a certain amount of shots. You can also destroy the APS by shooting it. You can destroy the APS, the optics, and the crows on top of a tank. So yeah, go ham doing that shit as well if you keep getting fucked by tanks. And Yeah, so if they have these rocket pods, you can, easily, obviously, maneuver with RPGs. It will make RPGs harder. But you can airstrike it still. You can landmine it still. You can C4 it. So just try and inspect a vehicle a little bit before kind of trying to run at it with AT and then bitching that it doesn't die because it's got an RCID jammer and your AT mines didn't go off, or shot an RPG at it and the missile, or the APS anti-missile thing took it out. Just a thing to consider. And finally, on the note of AT, swapping to AT for 5 minutes of a match will not ruin your life. It will help the whole of your team, and it will really, really make your match. Because all of a sudden, they go from having 3 tanks that have suddenly just all been called in to having no tanks and having no fucking points to call them in. So it can really help, and it can really change the tide in a match. So next, we're going to talk about kind of tactics and team play in general a bit. Something I see a lot of people doing, including high levels, level 51s, like max level, all of that shit. They flock like sheep around the fucking map. I don't know if you guys know this. You can open a fucking map. You can hit M. You can open a big map. You can see where your team are. Don't all flock to the same objectives. Because all that does is allow the enemy team to just spread out. And absolutely just fuck you in a match. So you need to kind of play it tactical in that manner. If your team is steamrolling, say, the fucking A objectives on Warsaw, you've got the underground parking lot, you've got the external one next to the apartment buildings. If your team has steamrolled them via C1, so you've got the train station spawn, if your team's gone up that side, steamrolled C1 round into Alpha, push Bravo 2 instead. Push inside the mall. Conquer different bits and make it really hard for them to gain points. You will win a lot easier as a team. Yes, the fights might be rough, but take a bit more of a slower approach. Don't play the game like COD all the time. It's not that kind of game. And yes, my opinion, if you want to play it like COD, fine. If that's your playstyle, fine. But there's a time and a place for different playstyles in the game. And you need to find your ebb and flow with different weapons. You need to work together, whether it's as a team or whether it's as a squad. But you just need to. It will really help your match for everyone involved if you do this. Speaking about tactics and AT, team play, when someone is in a tank on your team, and for whatever fucking reason under the sun, you are hugging an enemy tank when they're in a tank versus tank battle, don't fucking punish the driver of the friendly tank when you get blown up. It's absolutely stupid, and it's an obnoxious move that fucks your team. I don't know why people do it. There is zero fucking need. That punish mechanic, in my opinion, should really only be used if someone straight up TKs you in spawn. That happened to me. The dude, while I was repairing my Wolverine, put C4 on the back of my fucking Wolverine. I had it parked on the home base pad. He just threw C4 on it and blew it up. Punish is obviously necessary there. Punish should also be used for, say, someone just straight up on your team, bombing runs or artilleries or whatever, you're like an objective that is completely controlled by you or your team and hasn't been touched by enemies in ages. That's the time obviously it should be done. If enemies were literally just there and they do kill a few enemies, you shouldn't punish them. Like, you get a call saying that friendly airstrike inbound, friendly artillery inbound from your announcer. That means it's within a rough vicinity of you if you ever hear them. Same for the enemy shit. Doesn't mean it's necessarily on top of you, but it's a good thing to, if you hear the voice line, get to fucking cover. Especially for artillery, you can see the red circle for friendly artillery. Sometimes, yes, it's a stupid move. Say there's only one person on the objective, or you've just killed, say, half the team, or half the enemies on the objective, and there's only a few left, or whatever. It's a bit stupid for a friendlies to call in artillery, but you do get a little bit of time to get to cover, and friendly damage is less than what it is to enemies. So you can actually take like 3 to 5 artillery shells landing near you before you die to team artillery. So just get to cover, don't sit in it. Kind of common sense, really. And it is what it is. But sometimes you get really good teams. You get teams that absolutely dominate the map. They spread out really nicely between objectives. People focus AT properly. You get people holding, say, the inside of the mall on Warsaw while other teammates move around. And there'll be one squad that solely holds the mall. Or 2 squads. Really good fucking idea. Like, somewhere between 5 and 10 of you holding the inside of the mall is not that bad of an idea. Especially if you're holding them off of B2. If you can keep B2 as well on Warsaw. Keep B1, B2, and then have C2 as well, so you conquer the inside of the mall and you're gaining points from B. The rest of your team can fight over A and C1. Doing this will mean, obviously, whenever you capture C1, you'll start gaining points. Having C2 will mean they will never gain points from capturing C1. And your team, the rest of your team can conquer the other objectives or even just decap them. So they don't get points, even if it's just one of them. Break the link. Kind of, I really urge people to kind of look where your squads are going, or like your friendly squads are going, try and work around it. Also, when you aim at an objective to give an order, it will say 1 squad attacking, 2 squad attacking if you're a squad lead. Take this into consideration before getting your entire squad to move somewhere. Yes, the game isn't necessarily like squad or anything of the such of a higher caliber of realism and milsim, how let loose, etc. But some of the team play that is used in these games, I do strongly believe should be used in World War III. Especially if they do end up bringing back big maps where they have the extra set of objectives. Because back in the alpha, like early 2018, maps had 4 objectives. Like 4 sets of objectives. So A1 and 2, B1 and 2, C1 and 2, and D1 and 2. And the maps were bigger because of it, and so were the team sizes. I strongly believe they should bring that back. It was really fucking fun. And it gave kind of a better balance, in my opinion, between what could be controlled by vehicles and what could be controlled by infantry. Take Moscow, for instance. You got them all. Heavily dominated by infantry. As it should be. However, pretty much all of the rest of the map, bar A1, within reason, depends on the team, it can be heavily dominated by vehicles. It won't necessarily be, but it can be. Back in the alpha, the construction site, that is where A2 is, and you can see on the map, it's kind of got a weird cut off out of the back end of A1 that goes behind A2. I've seen a lot of people try and drive around there, and you used to be able to. That construction site was purely the A objective. A2, and then that back bit that's now cut off, it's out of map zone, used to be the other half of A. Or whatever objective name it was assigned, but that was 2 parts of an objective there. And yes, vehicles could deal damage and stuff there, help control it, but there was more maneuverability, more elevation, vertical stuff, ways to cross and whatnot, and it made for some really nice infantry gameplay, and I strongly hope they bring stuff like that back, and those kinds of layouts of maps back. Let me know your thoughts and opinions about kind of tactics, team play, the stuff I've spoken about, and how people have been working together, what you think or what you would like to see. Do keep it civil, do keep it kind, like, any bitching, any, like, oh, your opinion's fucking shit, not having that stuff, all right? We're here to have a friendly discussion, get our thoughts out, and who knows, maybe someone somewhere might see it and take it into consideration when it comes to bug reports, feedback, or whatever for the game. That goes for all videos, not just this one. I know we haven't really spoken about bugs. But yeah, it's kind of it, I think. I think this is a nice place to wrap this one up. If you like this and you've gotten this far, please do leave a like, comment, whatever. Share it. It'd be great if we could get a lot of the community kind of getting involved in this. Having their opinions, thoughts and stuff properly discussed, because these videos can be sent to CMs and as feedback and stuff. So it's, yeah. Please do get involved with talking, sharing, liking, whatever. Do subscribe if you want to see more videos. Different kind of ones, obviously, not just these Let's Talk ones. There is gameplay ones. So yeah, thank you all, and I'll see you in the next one.